On its way to becoming one of the top law firms in the country, Brent Coon & Associates has fought a lot of battles and created a lot of change in the industry and in the community. And on the eve of the firm's 15-year anniversary, they've decided to tell their story, a story that is worth being told. And where better to start than with Brent Coon himself? 15 years ago, attorney Brent Coon began his law firm with a single mission. The seventh-generation Texan set out to make a new kind of legal practice, one that would be able to help both his clients and the community as a whole. Brent treated each client as an individual, and not just a number in a settlement machine. While working to make his clients and their families whole again, Brent also worked tirelessly on the larger picture as well, to correct flaws in the system itself that have caused the problems. This was and is Brent's goal and his passion. And that passion permeated the fabric of the entire firm. This is what put BCA on the national map, not just for being a remarkably successful law firm, but for improving the lives of their clients and the community at large in truly exemplary ways. Upon starting the firm in 2001, Brent began by focusing on protecting the rights of laborers. Representing unions like the United Steelworkers, BCA focused on helping the many plant workers that were working in unsafe conditions or forced to work around occupational hazards, including toxins such as asbestos. With his blue-collar background in Southeast Texas, Brent felt a strong connection to oil field workers and those in the petrochemical industries. Brent's family all worked in trade unions, and helping people like his family, friends, and neighbors has been a driving motivation behind his interest in law. With each successful verdict, BCA grew and is now considered nationally as a top-tier litigation firm, and one that is not afraid, in fact enjoys going to trial. And led by Brent Coon, BCA has gone to trial, winning verdicts for his clients in excess of $1 billion since 2001. To assemble this unprecedented record of success, Brent handpicked the best team possible to work with, a team both good at their job and sharing in the vision of a commitment to excellence. And to BCA's credit, many of those people are still with him today. In 2005, an explosion at the BP oil refinery in Texas City shocked the world and would change BCA forever. BCA immediately jumped in to help and represented hundreds of clients injured in the disaster, including Eva Rowe, a young girl who lost both parents in the explosion. As a head of the Plaintiff Steering Committee, BCA embraced its role of bringing justice to all of the victims of the explosion and lay the groundwork to improve safety conditions for all workers in the oil industry as a whole. In the landmark cases against BP, BCA worked directly with the Department of Justice, Chemical Safety Board, OSHA, and others. They reviewed over 7 million documents and took the fight all the way to the Texas Supreme Court before emerging victorious. And the landmark victory resulted in an historic and groundbreaking settlement that would continue to shape not only BCA's legacy, but forge a new path to how settlements are viewed. In addition to securing a multi-million-dollar settlement for their client, Miss Rowe, Brent also negotiated a series of additional terms that were considered groundbreaking and that extended far beyond simple compensation for just his client. First, BCA insisted that all the documents uncovered during their investigation remain unsealed to the public so that lessons could be learned by all in the industry from the mistakes that BP made. Second, BCA negotiated the donation of over $40 million to various charities, scholarships, and organizations to help future victims of similar industrial accidents, and to teach, train, and inform refinery and plant workers, management, and leadership about the importance of process safety. But they weren't done yet. Next, Brent and Eva began lobbying for legislative changes in the oil industry and testifying in front of Congress in Washington, D.C. Brent then wrote the Remember the 15 bill to ensure a focus of legislation would remain on making industrial plants a safer place to work. During this time, Brent and his communication team began to utilize the media in ways few law firms had ever done, becoming the go-to expert not only on BP and the petrochemical industry, but for public policy fights of all shapes and sizes. with feature appearances on 60 Minutes and regular spots on CNN, MSNBC, Bloomberg TV, and even Fox News, along with front-page stories in the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and USA Today. Brent utilized the national news network to jumpstart the discussion about what is right and what needs to change, and did so more effectively than virtually any of his contemporaries. Brent and his firm's game-changing work in all of these facets of the Texas City explosion were recognized at the 2007 AAJ convention, where he was awarded the Stephen J. Sharp Award as Lawyer of the Year. And in Chicago that year, they threw one heck of a good party. Then, over the next few years, BCA expanded their focus, growing to 30 lawyers in 20 offices around the country, and helping to protect workers in the railroad industry and victims of aviation catastrophes, victims of natural disasters like Hurricane Ike of Texas, and victims of man-made greed like the hepatitis outbreak in Las Vegas, Nevada. BCA has squared off against major pharmaceutical companies who have injured thousands with harmful drugs and medical devices. His lawyers won the first verdict in a national mass tort dealing with hormone replacement therapy, setting the stage for hundreds of other firms to utilize their accomplishments and follow their lead. BCA has taken its legal prowess into legal battlegrounds all over America with its unique and powerful media and public policy skill sets. And they have left behind a legacy of improvement with a list of triumphant verdicts totaling over $1 billion in successful settlements for their clients. And through all of this, BCA never forgot when a local resident simply needed some legal advice. The firm continued to focus on improving their community with extensive charity drives, such as fundraising for veterans through the Lone Survivor Foundation and the Color Run for breast cancer awareness. BCA has even expanded its policy of including donations to the local community in its settlement conditions. Then, in 2010, another major oil industry tragedy struck. The Deepwater Horizon oil rig in the Gulf of Mexico exploded, killing 11 people, and began dumping millions of gallons of oil into the Gulf, creating what would be the largest environmental disaster in American history. BCA once again jumped into the fray, recognizing operational similarities between the management by BP of this catastrophe and the 2005 explosion in Texas City. Brent Kuhn once again became a sought-after voice in the media for his expert insider opinion. Brent immediately became a go-to source for information about the culture of BP's negligence that resulted in this massive tragedy, and with 15,000 clients, became one of the largest stakeholders in the biggest piece of litigation in U.S. history. Today, BCA is fighting numerous cases, causes, and battles all over the country. From exposing widespread corruption in government and our community school systems, to advocating for the right of motorcyclists in the wake of the horrifying shooting at the Twin Peaks restaurant in Waco, Texas, that has ended up bringing a network of conspiracy and profiling to the public eye. And it is this dedication to justice and community that will continue to drive Brent Kuhn & Associates into the future. Over the past 15 years, Brent Kuhn and the law firm that bears his name have become one of the most public and aggressive champions of people's rights. And that doesn't come without a great team and a commitment to work harder, faster, and smarter than the competition. BCA already has a great list of accomplishments and is one of the most recognized firms in the country, with prestigious awards like the Clarence Darrow Award, and the development of an international network of associated firms with over 1,000 other lawyers across the country and around the world. The past 15 years have proven to be a tremendous success for the firm and for their clients, and they very much look forward to continuing to expand the fight for justice, for safety, for protection, and for community.